LA's boulevards leads to a deeper, richer, more meaningful life. The High Center invites you now to join us in exploring the highway. The road traveled by a very special Southern California couple has touched the lives of over 300,000 Jews. It stretches back to the 1960s when Shlomo Schwartzy, began some unique outreach to LA's disenfranchised Jews.
We built this sort of student and adult education center right near UCLA, which was the first Chabad house. It was a new idea in all of the entire country. The idea is not to convert Jewish students or Jewish people to become Hasidic Jews. It's to expose them to something that they've been dabbling in maybe their whole lives, that is Judaism, but have never been actually exposed to. They've been learning about Sabbath celebration and have never really seen one. They've been learning about tefillin, but have never put on a pair. You put the black leather boxes and the straps on your arm and on your head, and you sort of bound yourself up with God.
It's kind of pagan.
Well, that's just
only
Western
males
orientation.
do that.
Yeah, only males do that, yes.
So I can't be bound with God?
You're bound with God in a different way. You see, this is a loaded question.
Well, Rabbi Shlomo Schwartz is called the Singles King of California. Every week, the rabbi hosts some special dinner parties where he plays matchmaker for Jewish singles. Why do you think these guys don't want to date their own?
Well, we're only 2.5% of the population, but 75% of Jewish youth receive no Jewish education, and the others stop at age 13. So you grow up with negative baggage and none of the positives. So it's the negative baggage of anti-Semitism and stereotypes. So clearly, as evidenced by some of the men here, you're uncomfortable with your own identity, and therefore you want to fade away and run after the Shiksagadis to gain acceptance.
You are generalizing and stereotyping males.
It's the quest to run away and assimilate into the dominant culture.
Decades later, but not much has changed.
God bless you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't shake hands with women.
You don't? Why?
No.
Oh, is that a Jewish?
I'm a Hasidic rabbi.
Oh, so you can't touch women?
No.
Except for your wife.
Well,
Married?
we have 12 children. That's you
do?
They didn't get it on the telephone.
Or has a lot changed?
In the 60s, you ask somebody, are you Jewish? And say, well, my parents are Jewish. Now it's okay to be Jewish, and it's even cool.
How many Jewish rabbis go on Venice Beach on the boardwalk and talk about, come up to people whether you're Jewish or not and just talk to them?
Affiliated or not, Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, as Schwartzy says, any Jew that moves. But Schwartzy showed a lack of orthodoxy in his outreach style. Unusual venues, unconventional appeals.
He's the only rabbi I know who's equally facile in talking about Talmud and Grateful Dead lyrics.
Schwartzy's style began to clash with traditional methods, and that led to the founding in 1988 of a totally unique, highly unconventional High Center, co-founded by Schwartzy's equally energetic partner in the work, Olivia.
The High Center is about affording a non-threatening and interesting experience for people to come and to learn how to love being Jews.
If you've met Olivia and Schwartzy and you've attended any of their events, you know just how friendly and kind they are. So it's easy to bring people who may not be that deep into Judaism yet and give them an opportunity to learn about something for the first time in a safe, friendly, and helpful environment.
And one of the things we do is find people, not have them find us. I used to go to all the parks when my kids were all little in order to meet other mothers in the parks who, I've become, some of them have very Jewish lives today just from meeting in the park.
When Dina first came back from the hospital with our son Yona, for like 2 weeks, there was somebody at our door every night bringing us dinner.
Decades later, miles down the highway, the Schwartzes are still working hard.
The Shabbat dinner is dinner for 60 strangers, as it's called. Shabbat, it sounds a little bit too religious for people. They haven't gone to a Shabbat service, to a Shabbat dinner for 30 years. Why should they go now? So you answer, it's not a Shabbat dinner, it's dinner for 60 strangers. And it's that little twist there, that little subtle twist there, which get the people in. And that is, to me, the High Center.
Still having an impact.
Olivia Schwartz said to me, why are you not married? And I said, when it's the right time, the right person will come along. And she said, tonight is that night. Do not sit down until I tell you where to sit. And she waited till everyone was sat, and then she said, go sit there. And there was this person.
And 5 years later, we're married and we have a child.
Still just as unconventional.
I would imagine if somebody went and they weren't ready to another single Shabbat dinner, and the goal was that they should be writing down the girl's number next to them. And they start writing, and the host and hostess freak out and say, "You can't write on you can't." That's not for everybody. When people start writing Shabbat on my table, I just look the other way.
They actually go out in the community and do things, which I admire that. Rather than just asking for money, they're actually going out and providing things. The high holiday services, the dinners, the trips to Israel.
As Jewish as LA sounds and as Jewish as LA is, there are still 70% of Jews unaffiliated. So we would expect, if 70% of Jews are unaffiliated, we would expect 70+% of Jews are going to be intermarried. The truth is, we're on the forefront of intermarriage, keeping the Jewish nation alive.
Some of these organizations that I'm involved in, a check is written, and I have no idea where that money goes. And with the High Center, I clearly see where it goes.
And the highway, once so unconventional, is now the way that other organizations emulate.
His attitude and enthusiasm hasn't changed in 24 years. He is still this live, happening guy that will go to a rock concert to grab Jews and put on tefillin on them and let them daven, let them enjoy themselves, but still know that they can be involved in the everyday world, but still keep their Jewish, tradition of thousands of years. You could still be a Jew.
The highway is the way of life.
Olivia's wisdom has definitely impacted me. At times, I think of things that she said to me, and it's played an impact on my life. She's had some very good advice.
With the commitment of the people gathered here, join us in assuring the survival of our Jewish community and securing our next generation.
People are desperate for some significance and meaning in their lives, and we got the good stuff.
Join us on the powerful, inspirational journey Schwartzy, Olivia, and the High Center began decades ago. Help the highway lead to greater rewards for greater numbers of Jews for decades to come.
I kind of do everything.
I just do email. I'm an email person.
I actually do everything. I pack and unpack the suitcases. I carry them up and down the stairs. I do all the shopping, childcare.
I love email.